next question is about taking raw foods to work. You go to work for long periods of time and you find things spoil. You don't want to go too heavy on dehydrated foods and nuts and seeds, I understand. You can't do smoothies for a long time because they go bad. And I've been in the same position. Actually, just recently I did some brutal overtime work with a friend at his sprout op. He needed some help while he went away to promote his product at a health show across the country in Vancouver. And I did some 13 to 15 hour days, including the commute. And basically I'd take a bunch of stuff with me. I did have some nuts and seeds, because that obviously you eat that later in the day because that lasts. Just eat lower fat earlier in the day to make up for the amount of fat you're going to eat in terms of dehydrated food or dry food that you can take later in the day. And then you have something to last you a bit in the morning. Make something, prepare something that you can consume at that time if it's going to spoil later in the day. And then I personally actually just fast. If I don't have any food, if I run out of food, I fast. I was eating sprouts as I was working a little bit in terms of the extras that were left over. But something I do use, specifically I take this around with me if I ever get caught, is chlorella tablets. This is high protein chlorella algae, and this is really handy as opposed to the powder. I use powder as well if I'm at home, but the tablets, you can have 1,000 of them in a bag. Ultimate Superfoods carries them, and they're just little tablets that you just pop a few, 10? Pop them in your mouth, chew them up. It's like a little hit of protein that kind of gives you a little boost of energy. And do that once an hour to last you through the last part of the day where you ran out of food. So that's really all I can say in terms of doing that. You want to, obviously, in the long run, create a lifestyle or a work environment where you can have either access to foods that can be preserved. If your work has a fridge, make use of that, or see if you can get a mini fridge in your work if it is a place you're going to work for the long term. Change your lifestyle so that that works out. Another option is to eat fermented foods like sauerkraut, coconut kefir, dairy kefir if you want to do that, raw dairy specifically, and that, since it's already bad, won't go worse. If you're in a place where it's very warm, it might might ferment really quickly, but I'm just throwing ideas out there for you to look into. The next question you had was about can you make carrot juice as the base to sweeten up greens, and you can if you want. And by the way, carrots aren't a fruit. You said, are they a low sugar fruit, or you're referring to carrots as being a low sugar fruit, and they're not low sugar and they're not a fruit. So yes, it can sweeten something up. You can do carrot juice if you really feel drawn to it, but the carrots you find in supermarkets today are 7 times higher in sugar than carrots from even 100 years ago. They've been hybridized more and more to be higher in sugar, so they're really not an option, in my opinion, for anyone that's looking to live an optimal lifestyle in terms of long-term health. Specifically, if you're going to be doing a low-sugar diet to combat certain problems that you've already alluded to, carrot juice would be out of the question because it's very high sugar. If you were to juice a bunch of apples and a bunch of carrots, the carrot juice is going to be higher sugar. I forget the measurements exactly, but what is it, a liter of carrot juice has a cup of sugar in it in terms of the equivalent to white sugar. So it's very high. It's going to be spiking things out of control. I personally stay away from it. If you really need it, put half a green apple, a quarter of a green apple in your juice. If you juice more sprouts, cucumber, celery, both sunflower and pea shoots, sprouts specifically, you're going to have a high protein green juice that's very mild. You're not going to be hit with the throat closing effects of kale juice, or even spinach juice. I find can be a little hard to drink. And these very hybridized green vegetables aren't necessarily the optimal for health, although I definitely recommend their juice or eating them over a high fruit diet. So you could also look at adding things like lemon and other things, and just accept the taste of them and not learn to let go of the addiction to sugar first of all, because our taste is really something we choose to explore, and we can change it through conscious intent simply by making ourselves like new flavors. Just decide you want to like a new flavor, whether it's sour, salt, sweet. I don't mean table salt, but seaweeds and things that have a salty flavor. bitter. Obviously sweet's going to be one of these flavors, but you don't want to overdo it, and you can also get sweet from things that don't have sugar in them, like stevia or slippery elm bark, or any starchy type food like sweet potato. And of course there's things like garlic and ginger, which are the spicier flavor. You can add those to your green juice if you don't like the harsh bitter flavor of the greens. You want to change it with the spiciness of cayenne pepper. You could also add in there. You can also add Jerusalem artichoke or any other root vegetables to your juice, which kind of curbs that and adds a bit of sweetness. You know, some sweet potato. I don't really like sweet potato juice, to be honest, but you know, you could try it out. So I'm gonna save the rest of your questions for next week's Q&A. I know you sent me these questions a while back, but I've been very busy. I didn't actually do a Q&A on Sunday last Sunday because I was so busy. I mentioned I was doing this work for a friend of mine, and because of that, I haven't had the opportunity to do as many videos as I would like to be doing lately. So I might get back into I was doing roughly 5 videos a week. I think I've been doing 3 or 4, just trying to maintain that. But yeah, you know, that's the evolution of a YouTube channel, I guess. And yeah, so submit your questions again for next week. I'm going to finish your questions, Serene141, next week. And I just wanted to update you guys on what is going on in my life right now. During this period of work that I've been doing some sort of part-time jobs here that I wasn't doing before. And because of everything I've been doing, I actually decided to go off the no-sugar diet that I was doing. So I've transitioned back into a simple sugar diet. I'm doing, you know, small amounts of like things like apples, local McIntosh apples, goji berries, blueberries, a little bit of honey here and there. And I'm specifically doing that because they're convenience foods. I haven't been too committed to preparing food in advance, and that's definitely my own fault. I'm not going to say I fell off the diet, so to say. I just made the choice to go off of it because it really wasn't good use of my time to only be preparing food and working and sacrificing things like my workouts, etc. I'd rather do those and just come off the no sugar thing than just be making food in all my spare time. So the fact that it's coming up on summer as well, just thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense to be doing that intensive a cleanse during that period of the year when there is the most abundance of fresh fruits and berries in this area, when we don't get them, at least in southern Ontario, for most of the other year, at least local. So if I do the commit to the 6 months again, I'm going to do it, you know, during fall to end of winter type of period rather than spring for most of this, and then the rest of the summer. I didn't really think that one through when I made that decision. So yeah, in my recipes that will be coming up, you'll see things like honey and stuff like that. So don't be alarmed if you do see that. But yeah, basically it was 2 months that I went without simple sugars of any kind, and it was great. I think I cleared up what I had going on, even if it was very minor, so I might not even need to do any sort of drastic low simple or no simple sugar diet for any period of time, but I'd continue to recommend it for anyone that is in a situation of candida overgrowth or anything like that. I just put a new page up on my site. You can check out the link below. It's a page where I'm offering phone consultations. So I'm now doing phone consultations just via regular phone. You can use Skype if you want to save on long distance phone calls, but you can contact me at the number that I'm posting just on the screen here. And if you go to my site, you'll also see my rates. I can do 1 hour or an hour and a half. I'm very flexible with the scheduling if you're interested in that. And this is a great way to get tons of questions in. I also offer, 2 weeks after that, you can email me for questions and follow-ups on the lifestyle design that I've done for you or helped you with. And we can really be flexible here. I can do anything that you need, whether it's coaching on transitioning or altering your raw food lifestyle, supplement, herbal, or superfood regimen in terms of optimizing your health and longevity. We can also work on sort of meditation or internal work, lifestyle or practices, physical exercise program as well. So anything you see on that page that I list, we can address in this phone consultations I do with you. So yeah, give that number a call or send me an email. We'll set up a time slot, and then you give me a call after we've set up a time slot. Then we can do the scheduled amount of time, and I can help help you out that way. Direct, right on the phone. It's easy. So just check out the page and contact me if you're interested. So I'll see you guys through the week with my other videos. So take care, and I'll see you later.